Hey everyone, welcome to the road to Avengers Doomsday. I'm Jonathan, and every single month I'm going back through the MCU, revisiting each movie and showing you how to make custom LEGO minifigures from every single Marvel film leading up to the culmination in Avengers Doomsday. We've made it a long way so far, so be sure to hit like and subscribe, and let's get into today's movie starting now. Hey guys, Jonathan here, and today we're going to revisit the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special as we continue the road to Avengers Doomsday. I'm having so much fun with this series, I hope you guys are too, and it's nice to be back after a little break that I took for some time, but it's going to be absolutely awesome to jump back in, so let's do that and make all the characters from the Guardians holiday special using 100% official LEGO parts and pieces. So the movie opens with a cartoon montage, but when we get into the live action section, we actually see Nebula, Drax, Mantis, and Kraglin all hanging out on Nowhere. All three of these figures are relatively easy to build. The Nebula figure uses the Guardians 2 head, although you actually can use any Nebula head. That's just the one I chose to use here. Then I gave her a blue hand and a robotic arm on the torso and legs that come from Peter Quill from the Milano set from the Infinity Saga not too terribly long ago. That same Milano set gives us the head and arms that I used here for Drax, but the torso is a Guardians 3 torso flipped around with the legs from Wild Style, aka Lucy from the Lego Movie 2, and I used the old tried and true handcuff trick where I took a pair of Lego handcuffs, cut the chain out of the center, and then put the cuffs back on to add some bulk and gauntlets to Drax's arms. Now for Mantis, I went ahead and used the Mantis antenna hairpiece, the face, and the torso from the regular Mantis figure from Guardians. Then, of course, I gave her the arms from Poison Ivy from the Lego Batman movie, but I erased the printing off using the eraser method. It really is awful to have destroyed those arms because it's a pretty valuable and rare figure now, but it does work perfect for Mantis along with tan hands. Ironically, that same skirt piece from that same exact Poison Ivy figure, but just folded around to, show like it is, and the legs from Lloyd from the Lego Ninjago movie with a candy cane accessory for what she carries around from Kevin Bacon's house in the movie. Then finally, I went ahead and made Kraglin, who uses the traditional old-school Star-Lord head, ironically, the original Star-Lord torso and legs as well, with the very cool fin piece here that, of course, comes on Yondu from the Guardians of the Galaxy 2 wave of sets. For the rest of the Guardians, I went ahead and used Peter Quill. Of course, that's the torso from Guardians Volume 2 and Infinity War, with the more modern Chris Pratt-style head and hair. He, of course, has his blasters, and I used the legs from T'Challa Star-Lord from the LEGO Marvel CMF Series 1 to go ahead and give him the complete Peter Quill look, which I think looks great. Groot, I just went ahead and used the Infinity Saga version of Groot. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. For Rocket, he does wear his blue outfit in this movie, so what I did was use the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 version of Rocket, but I went ahead and kept him with the gray pieces. Yes, we could switch it out for the brown Rocket pieces that are used now, but because the side of this torso is brown, I always felt like the gray matches this suit a little bit better, and of course I gave him the arm from Bucky from the Bricktober pack, since canonically I think that's probably the most accurate arm to use for Bucky, although the black one from the CMF series wouldn't work so bad either. Then I did break the purist method to make Cosmo, because unfortunately I really think you kind of have to. I used one of the German Shepherd pieces from Lego, and then I actually just took a white paint pen and then silver, blue, and red paint pen to go ahead and paint over the body to give Cosmo the look from the Guardians 3 as well as from this holiday special. And in reality, it does break the purist method, but there's really not a better way to do it. So I'd love to hear what you guys think, and with that, that's all the Guardians so far. So one thing I think is also worth talking about is the band that we see in the movie. Of course, James Gunn loves to include his favorite bands in his projects, like this one, of course, in Peacemaker Season 2. So that is really cool, especially as a musician myself. I love that he highlights musicians and bands in that way, but I was a little stuck when it came to this showcase because I don't really know how I would make these guys in Lego form. I didn't do it the first time around when the showcase came out, when this movie came out, but also now I really just don't know how you would do like the heads for these characters, especially the furthest left and the furthest right. Like, I love these character designs. They look so great. I just don't think that there are a ton of Lego pieces that would lend themselves well to creating this look. So I'd really love to hear what you guys think down in the comments. You guys know that I try to make just about everybody, and I would consider these guys kind of like B-level characters. Not quite A characters, but they do get 2 musical montages that take up a pretty decent amount of the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special. So, I really would have loved to have made these guys, but I don't know how I would have done it. So I'd love to hear what you guys think. What pieces would you use, especially for the furthest left and furthest right guy? I just was scratching my head, and I was like, you know what? I would rather not include them than include them and it not be very good. So, yeah, sorry I couldn't get that figured out after all these years since the special, but like I said, I just wouldn't want to do something halfway. So let me know what you guys would use or what you think here, and we'll keep moving and grooving with the showcase. As the Christmas adventure continues, Mantis and Drax get their own Christmas sweaters, and of course they abduct Kevin Bacon. So for the Christmas sweaters, I went ahead and used all the same pieces from both characters before, but Drax gets his Groot dancing sweater from the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special advent calendar from a few years back, and Mantis gets this great torso that comes in the giant Christmas tree set. It's one of the elves from that, but I flipped the torso around, and I just think that works really, really well. Then, of course, for Kevin Bacon, I went ahead and used these printed jean legs that I got from the Build-A-Minifigure station at the Lego store years ago. I don't know if this ever came in a set, but I'm sure someone in the comments will let us know if they did. The torso comes from Mutt Williams from Indiana Jones, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull 2008. The head actually comes from Paul Walker's character from the Too Fast, Too Furious Speed Champion set, with some pushed back hair here to finish out the look. And for a nice final surprise, I did go ahead and make Yondu. The only thing I did here was take the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 Yondu and give him the shorter red mohawk so that it reflects how his mohawk looked at this point in the MCU. But with that being said, we'll go ahead and round out this showcase and call it a day. Alright guys, be sure to hit like and subscribe down below if you haven't already. Stay tuned for the Guardians 3 showcase. My initial idea was to try and get that out before the end of December, but I'm not sure if that's going to happen. It might be January at this point. But anyways, stay tuned for the next installments coming soon, and I'll see you guys on the next video.